use YouTube for realtors. In this video, I bring on a team that is struggling with YouTube and maybe not getting the traction that they're looking for. And what we're going to be doing is diving into their channel, and I give the exact specific strategies that they can implement in order to see immediate tangible results that has worked for every single agent that's applied it. So today we're bringing on Steve and Sherry Clemens, who are putting out great content, but just not getting the traction that they're looking for. And also at the end, we're going to be diving into short form strategies as well. So this is going to be all things video, and I'm going to be giving exact examples and tactical strategies that will not just work for them, but it will work perfectly for you as well to see immediate results and differences in your content, to make sure that you're not just putting out videos to put out content, but that those views are also turning into clients and closed deals, because we want to make sure that you build a consistent pipeline of clients coming directly to you. Now, before diving into the tactical strategies, if you do want to know in more depth some of the strategies that we're going to be talking about in this video, drop a comment below and I'll gladly give you my free social media training that is updated just for this year. So without further ado, let's dive into it, and I will give you a roadmap of how to improve the content that you're putting out so that you can start to create a pipeline of closed deals with clients that are coming directly to you. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we've got on Sherry and Steve from the Clemens team. Really excited because they're one of the few that are actually taking action, putting out great content on both YouTube, TikTok, and many other platforms, but really excited to dive in and see what we can do to help maybe get a little bit more exposure and convert a bit higher from the content that you're putting out. So welcome, guys. Excited to have you here, and feel free to give yourself a bit of an introduction and then we can dive straight in.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Hi, we're Steve and Sherry. We've been married for 44 years, all our life. We were 2 when we got married. And we've been in real estate 9 years. And we've been a team. We've been in 4 brokerages, currently with EXP. Been here about 2.5 years, love it. So we produced quite, we sold about 80 houses last year, 80 properties last year. So that's us.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, and clearly doing really well.
We have kids, 2 daughters, married with 2 amazing grandchildren. So if you see any of our social, you'll see our grandchildren.
Yeah, we're all about family.
Family and travel.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to dive in, guys. I've got your stuff pulled up here, and so feel free if you want to start with YouTube or wherever you'd like to take this, and ask away, and we can pull up your channel and start diving in. So let me know what we can do to help.
Sure. We just really got started with our YouTube channel, really working it since we started using your program. And so we've not got a lot on there yet, but we have seen some growth since we started. And so we'd like to start there. We feel like that's where the best opportunity is.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll pull up your channel here, and we can start diving in a little bit deeper here. So looking at your channel, it's great that you guys have a few of the foundational elements set up and have a proper banner with the brokerage, with the call to action, and obviously some information here and a beautiful picture of you guys. So I'll give you an extra little subscribe here to get things started. So looking at your content, I think there's obviously the consistency is there, which is great. I think, a couple things that we'll be diving into is the optimization, also the delivery and the call to actions, I think will be important as we start to explore this. And then looking at what we might be able to do with the thumbnails in order to get things going. So if you're looking at this, is there a video specifically, maybe something like this, that you guys would like me to take a look at and kind of break down for you?
See which one you want to choose.
Let's do living in Sherwood.
Awesome. So let's pull this up, and then I'll do a couple of auditing tricks that I like to do just to kind of, see how things could be maybe improved, because this is the type of video that you want to be doing. Right off the bat, I can tell you that there's something we can do with the title in order to get better results. So one of the things that's going to be really important is piquing curiosity, but also relevancy. So what we like to do, especially when you start looking at people that are thriving with YouTube, is it's not just living in Sherwood, Arkansas, it's living in Sherwood, Arkansas in 2023, because there could be videos that were put out in 2021, 2020, and a lot of people care about what is the most relevant, so they know, hey, this video, just psychologically, they're going to assume that if it's 2023, it's more relevant than the one from 2021. So that's something really subtle, makes a big difference. You'll see this with a lot of my videos. And then the next thing you want to do is you usually want to put maybe in brackets, for example, something that piques curiosity. So if you look at, maybe we'll pull up my channel quickly here, and then I'll show you guys what I'm referring to. But if we come to my videos and we look at,
Realtors are,
you know, this video with, you know, something like this video here, like I wish I knew, like full tutorial, or 46 deals with 4 kids, or, you know, these are his secrets, you know, never shared before. You could start looking at adding some sort of element that piques curiosity and makes them want to click on that video. So it could be living in Sherrard, Arkansas in 2023. And then it could be, whether it be 5 things you need to know, 5 things you didn't know, or even something a little bit different, something like, in quotations, everything has changed, or things that nobody shares, like that type of stuff that just adds that extra little element of curiosity that draws them in. So very subtle, but can make a big difference when they're looking at the 12 other videos that say living in Arkansas, right?
Gotcha.
Now, the next thing that I would do, and I'll talk to you about a couple things that I usually don't share, but this should really help you guys. The one thing that I do share is, it's usually good to not put the exact same text in the thumbnail as the title. And the reason being is because when people are looking to click on a video, they've got 2 options, the thumbnail and the title. If the thumbnail text is the exact same as the title text, if they don't like the title, they're not clicking on the video because the thumbnail says the same thing. But if you look at something that maybe is a little bit different, you can see here, you know, if we look at this video, 11 mind-blowing ways real estate agents are using ChatGPT, this doesn't say ChatGPT for realtors. It says ninja strategies nobody explains. So when we look at that, what it allows you to do is, again, an extra layer of piquing curiosity. So what I would do in something like this is maybe, you know, things no one shares about Sherwood, and something that, again, draws attention in, because when people think nobody shares it, it's, you know, it's different than what you're expecting. People want to know about that. So now they're going to click on it. And the only other 2 things I would do with the thumbnail, which can make a bit of a difference in terms of the clickability of it, and I'll show you guys a cool auditing trick that you can do. Number 1, the thumbnails that are actually, and this is kind of consistently across the board, thumbnails now that are converting the highest are the ones that focus most on the individual. So if you look at a lot of my thumbnails, I actually was coaching with a guy, and he works with a lot of the biggest YouTube channels across, you know, the whole internet, people that have millions of subscribers. And what he was saying is that the thumbnails that usually do the best are the ones where the person's face encaptures about 33% or a third of the image, of the overall image. So it draws people in. So what you'll see is, you know, you guys are well known, you're well respected, you've got a great brand, people love you, they love Steve and Sherry. So when we can make you guys a little bit bigger, instead of, you know, less of a secondary aspect, but more of a priority in the thumbnail, that's going to help build your brand a bit more. So if you look at a lot of my thumbnails, you can see how big the images are and how it draws you in. And it's really crazy to see. I wish I had it here, but I had an example of this exact thumbnail here about this open house strategy, where Garth was half the size and nothing else changed. And when you made him double the size and focal point like this, the amount it drew you in was like tenfold. So it's really cool because people connect with people. So we want you guys to be the priority, right? The more we can make you the focal point, the better. And the only other thing I would say in terms of the thumbnail before we get to the actual video and the optimization is contrast helps. So when we can see here, whatever happens to be in this background is kind of got like a red tint, but then the text is red as well, and it all kind of blends in together. It's a little bit difficult if this was on mobile and shrunk down tiny to see exactly what this is saying. So making it a focal point, like you guys have done great with some of these other thumbnails like these ones, the higher the contrast, the better. So those are just a couple little things that I think would help. But now let's look at the delivery, and I'll give you some advice on the optimization. So I've never seen this video. We'll dive in together. So let's take a peek at this. All right, you ready?
The embarrassing part. Okay.
These are the scripts that are memorized and they're horrible.
I love it. Well, let's take a peek at this.
With a population of about 32,000 people just outside the metropolitan area of Little Rock, Sherwood, Arkansas is a lovely place to live. The Sherwood is lined with bike trails that are dotted with parks, and it has a fishing pond right in the middle of town. And it's very convenient. It's only 9 miles from Little Rock Airport. It's really close. Just a button and hit the bell to be notified when we do.
Okay, awesome. So there's a couple things here. Now, the first thing I have to say is this look is awesome. So you guys have the look down. This very casual, inviting, homey look to your content is beautiful. So keep that. It's great. I love it. In terms of some certain things that we can do, there's two things that I like to do that can make a pretty substantial difference. The first one, which is why I skipped to this point, because I could see it kind of come up here, is we're at 49, so 50 seconds into the video, and we're now doing a call to action. But that call to action, as we see,
we are still.
The call to action is essentially subscribe if you want to see more videos, which is great. But my question to you is, do you want people to subscribe, or do you want people to reach out to you to book an appointment?
The second one. Reach out.
Yes. So what we want to do, and we'll take a peek at the description and see how this looks. So this is where there's great room for improvement. So let me pull up a really great example of this and make it very tactical for you. If we look at, somebody in our group like Suman. So if we look at Suman's content through YouTube, so what we'll do is we'll just pick like any random video. We'll look at the one that I was looking at the other day. So if we look at Suman's description here, I'll pull this up and I'll take a quick screenshot and I'll put it beside yours just so we have some comparison and contrast. And then I want to show you guys exactly what you could do to get more deals from your content. So we'll pull this up and we can look here at Suman's description versus your description. So your description says, see and hear about a great community of Sherwood in Arkansas. You might want to make it your forever home. Done. Okay, that's good. That's a good intro sentence, but how the heck do people get in touch with Steve and Sherry? I don't know. So when we look at this, convenience sells. The more convenient you can make it for the viewer, the better, because now if we look at this, I'm going to have to say, you know what? Steve and Sherry, you guys are awesome. I love this. I want to learn a bit more about Sherwood, but now I have to go to Google, research you guys, find your contact. Do I have to even put in my input information? Now I'm getting pitched by KV Core, and now I don't even want to reach out to you guys because of the fact that I spent 5 minutes going down the loophole. So when we look at this with Suman, boom, here's the video, here's the call to action. You want to search new homes? Great. There you go. I'll get that out of the way. But then when we look at this, if we look at the contact information right here, we can see, great, contact me, sell, email, and then also you've got the website. Now there's one key thing actually missing from Suman's videos that you guys could do that will work even better, and I'll explain this despite Suman doing $100 million last year from his YouTube channel. Is that I'll talk to you guys about the full sequence of events. So what you want to do is you want to first hook people, then do the call to action, and I'll explain what the call to action in the description looks like. So the way that I would rephrase it is, for example, like in your general area, I'm assuming Sherwood is a community.
Correct.
Okay. What would the most well-known community be in your area?
Or
your overall city? Like, what would the overall city be?
Most well-known overall city would probably be Little Rock.
Okay, so the way that I would approach this is more so just thinking off the top of my head, but you guys can feel free based on your knowledge to make it a little bit better. But what I would say is, in 2023, a lot of people, or even leaving out the year, but many people assume that Little Rock is the best place to move when looking at Arkansas. But I want to explain to you why Sherwood is the golden diamond in the rough that nobody's looking at, and why it's probably the best place for you. And then just hook them. Okay, everybody's looking at Little Rock, but what about this place? You haven't even heard of this place. This is gorgeous. And then that's going to take you 15 seconds. Now by the 15 to 30 second mark, hit them with the call to action. And what that call to action is going to be is, by the way, we are Sherry and Steve from the Clemens team. We're specialists here, for multiple years in the Arkansas market. And by the way, if you would like to know anything about not just Sherwood, but any community within Arkansas and looking to move here, feel free to reach out. By the way, all of our contact information is listed in the description below. You can text us, email us, or book a Zoom call with us to talk via our Calendly link. Done. And what you want to do is in that description, put your cell number, your email, your website, but most importantly, your Calendly link so people can book a Zoom call with you. Because what you'll see is that, whether people reach out to you via text or email, which in most cases is going to be what's most comfortable for an online lead to kind of just get into things. The quicker you can get them on a Zoom call, the better, because that is almost like a self-auditing process we use within YouTube. Is saying, if you're not willing to get on Zoom with us, how serious are you? Are you really committed to this process? Even if video is not second nature to you, like I know people that have got on video, it's their first time on Zoom, but they're so committed to the process and serious about buying or selling that they're willing to take that step. So the people that aren't willing to take that step are usually the bottom feeders that are trying to waste your time and just get information, which is not what we want. So otherwise, this video, just looking at it more or less, is pretty incredible, and you guys are doing a great job. The last thing I would say is, when people are looking at a 9-minute and 34-second video, they want to know, what am I going to get from this video? How much information am I going to get? And is this going to give me everything that I'm looking for? Is the natural thought process when clicking on this video. So another thing that makes a world of a difference, and you'll see this a lot on my YouTube videos, is adding some sort of numeric aspect to it so they know how many takeaways they're going to get. So if you really want to pull this together, it would be like, living in Sherwood, Arkansas in 2023, 5 things you need to know before moving here. Okay, now there's 5 things they need to know. So maybe instead of just thinking this is just a story time, one random long thought, they're saying, well, there's 5 things I'm going to learn. I need to know about it. It's relevant to 2023. Now I'm curious.
Makes perfect sense.
That's incredible. That's good.
So very, very simple differences. And the fact that you guys are already great on camera, great quality, great delivery, you've got the hardest part out of the way. Now it's kind of like, you hear in football, it's like a game of yards. Well, like on YouTube, it's a game of just the little nuances that can make the biggest difference, right? So I think that's a great place to start. Now is where we get down to the exciting part, which is going to be the optimization and where we can have some room for improvement. And I'll show you guys a really cool ninja auditing trick that I do that not many people know about that make a world of a difference. So if we come down here, we can look, your channel tags, great. This is perfect. I like it. It's very clear, and YouTube understands what your channel is about. Now, there's 2 things here. The topics, I don't know if I'd put society, I'd probably put lifestyle. Not going to make the biggest difference, but just a little subtlety. But the video tags, which are lacking. So what I recommend is starting to put this down a little bit, is leverage the video tags. It is in the academy, so you can go through and check that out. But I'll show you guys the auditing trick of what I do in order to make sure that I can tell that my video tags are dialed. And this is going to make a world of a difference as you start to add the video tags, which is kind of the last component. We've talked about your title, we've talked about your thumbnail, we've talked about the delivery and the description. The tags are going to be the last part. So if we look at my video, for example, we come down here, maybe we'll click on this video I did with Noah on TikTok. So the way that I look at this, and we're going to come down here and look at these tags for the video. So here's the self-auditing trick that I like to do whenever I'm looking at doing the optimization of the final component of my YouTube video. I'm going to come here, open up a blank tab, and pull this up here. And this is a screenshot of my of the tags of that video. So I'm going to ask you, Steve and Sherry, by looking at these video tags, and you have no idea what the thumbnail looks like, you've never seen the title, and you can't read the description, just by looking at these tags, can you tell me exactly what my video is about?
It's about how to use TikTok for realtors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
So when we look at this, right, like TikTok is a social media platform, but this does not say social media for realtors. It does not say video marketing for realtors. It doesn't say realtor, real estate agent, new agent, you can look at this and you just hit the nail on the head. You know exactly what my video is about. So what this is doing is essentially telling YouTube, hey, if you know, whenever you upload a YouTube video, YouTube transcribes your video, which is why it goes through that processing phase. So before you've even written the title, the description, or the tags, YouTube has an understanding of what your video is about. Now it's kind of going through the nuances of saying, here's all the different variations that somebody might be typing in my video for this video to be the right fit. So with your video, it could be like, you know, if we come back and look at this, some of the tags could be living in Sherwood, moving to Arkansas, moving to Sherwood, you know, Sherwood real estate, top Sherwood realtor, and looking at all the different things so that when you can do that auditing trick of taking a screenshot of your tags, send it to a friend and say, hey friend, I'm not going to send you the thumbnail or the title of the description. Can you please just take a quick look at this and tell me what my video is about? And if they can, you're dialed. If they can't, think about getting a little bit more detailed.
Okay.
So that's how I would improve it. Ultimately, you guys are doing a great job, but some of those tricks, they apply to all of this. And the last thing that I would say when we start looking at this, because this video is great, you know, Cabot, Arkansas, Sherwood, Arkansas, like these videos are all great. The one thing that I want you to think about in terms of YouTube, and then if you have any questions about TikTok, I'm happy to help with that, is you have to think, is my ideal client typing in this video in order for it to be a good fit? So for example, the question that I'll ask you is, do you think anybody on the planet is typing into Google or YouTube, can painting make a difference? Probably not, right? So what I would do here is say one simple trick to increase the value of your home for nearly no cost. Okay, everybody wants to increase the value of their home. They're looking for that. They're searching for that. There's only one thing, that's it. Boom, we know by stats, paint is one of the handful of things you can actually do to increase the value of a home. Right? So think about, you know, is somebody searching, we finally made it? Probably not. What would they be searching in to find this video? So it's all about looking at this as like a search-based platform in order to make sure that we are putting the right content into the right people's faces and that YouTube actually knows who to serve this to.
Perfect. Very good tips. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question, a little bit off topic, but we live in an Air Force town, and there's a lot of reasons why people don't want to move to the town where the base is, but they want to move, you know, and so every time they are typically sent to the towns that have the best school districts. That's what everybody advises. So is there something we can do to take more advantage of the people moving here for the Air Force base?
Of course, you can put out content related to military relocation. We've actually got an agent in my organization. He lives in South Carolina, and he was ex-military, and he's built his entire top producing icon level business entirely just by focusing on military relocation and putting out content specifically for people that are going to be there for the military. So you can put out, you know, like a military relocation video about the 5 best places for military personnel to live in Arkansas. Now you can highlight the communities, and by the way, if they don't live in the community that you service, now you've got a referral deal and a 25% check coming your way for an introduction. So it doesn't always have to be your specific market. You can obviously, based on the dialogue, kind of nudge people toward your market. But if they choose a different one, you still position yourself as the Central Arkansas specialist. So even if it's outside of that, say, hey, you know, even if you're looking to move in a different place outside of the central region, I could put you in the touch with the right person who I can guarantee is going to properly service you equally as much as I know we would here in the central area. And now it gives them the confidence that, hey, a lot of people think, like me living in Calgary, Edmonton's 3 hours north, they think that if they're moving to Edmonton, that I can't help them in any way, shape, or form because it's 3 hours away. But I know a bunch of top producers in Edmonton that do an incredible job just like I would. So by positioning us saying, hey, if you're moving to Alberta in general, I can make sure that I put you in touch with the right person, even if it's not my market center.
That's good.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Okay.
So with your TikTok content, any questions about that before we kind of pull things full circle?
No, not really any questions. I think we're just trying to find ways to add value in addition to being fun, you know. Some of them are just funny, you know, and that's all good because people like it. And we have, like I told you earlier, everywhere we go, somebody says how much they love our social media or our TikTok or whatever. So we're just trying to keep that going. I think we need to keep that going.
Should we continue that, or should we move just for value only?
Great question. Let's pull it up and let's take a peek at it. So looking at this, again, I think it's great that you guys are putting out content. It's awesome that you're consistent. Now, a lot of people are curious about the types of videos that are actually maybe going to get a bit more engagement, because I think you guys have done, again, the hardest part, which is that you're putting out content, you're being yourself, you're authentic and genuine. That's what people struggle with. You don't. So what can we do? Again, it comes all back to getting more tangible results in terms of people reaching out. So the one example I always like to use, and I'll tell you guys the 3 videos that you should be putting out, the 3 types of videos that have been proven based on data to actually be the highest converting videos, not based on assumption. So when we look at Noah, again, not the biggest following, only 40,000, but Noah is on icon status level. He's doing multi-million-dollar listings from TikTok, and he works with developers that now sell 5 homes a month through TikTok with Noah. So when we start looking at this, we can come through and there's a bunch of proven videos, the 3 specific types of videos that you can put out that work absolute wonders. And we can see a couple of them within this screen. One is going to be property tours, work incredibly well on TikTok. There was even an article that recently came out by Rob Report saying that millennials are now using TikTok property tours to buy luxury properties. So now we're looking at data-driven response to property tours. These consistently get a wealth of views. Noah has a number that have millions of views just from the property tours. That's video number 1. Video number 2 that you will see that does very well, and if we come down, I'll show you a couple examples because I want to show you one specific example of what you can do based on what you talked to me about in terms of Arkansas, looking at some of the different communities. So if I come down here, there's this video right here. So 100,000 views, 42,000 views, 20,000 views. So what these are is green screen videos. So the 3 types of videos that work well are number 1, property tours, number 2, green screen videos talking about something related to your market or market comparisons in terms of communities. And the 3rd is going to be local specific that is shareable by the general public. The more shares, the more engagement, the more reach that you're going to get. So when we look at this video by TikTok, I'll just play it for a second and you can see what I'm referring to.
So what is the main difference between Sarasota and Fort Myers? Let's go and explore both the pros and cons of both cities. First, if we're talking about outdoor activities, Sarasota clearly blows Fort Myers out of the water when it comes to this. Just one example is that Sarasota has this 12+ mile paved trail called the Legacy Trail. If your focus is on schools, Sarasota also outranks Fort Myers by far. They are ranked number 2 in the entire state. Comparing downtowns, downtown Fort Myers seems to have gotten a little bit more rundown over the years. Downtown Sarasota is actually still pretty good with really nice restaurants and shops, and then also walking distance to Bayfront Park. Lastly, comparing beaches, nothing is going to compare to Siesta Key Beach. Fort Myers beaches are okay, but they're not the greatest.
So what you can see here is what works really well is these green screen videos have been proven based on watch time to get the most engagement. So when we look at this, this is like doing Little Rock versus Sherwood, or doing, you know, any of these community comparisons, because when you can bring it to the state level as well, you can break it down to the city level and the market center level, but also state level. Now it starts to build that massive referral business. And by the way, based on the model that we're both at, it gives you an opportunity to get agents to partner with you in those specific markets, saying, hey, I continuously have people looking to move here. Do you want to be partners in this? Because I've got people that I could send to you. So it's a great attraction tool, but it's a great conversion tool. So doing these community comparisons are great, because now when people are looking to move to Arkansas in general, you're educating them with value, but doing the green screen, showcasing different things makes that engagement, and you can make it playful and fun. So that's video number 2 that works really well. Video number 1 being the property tours. Now, the last one that does really well is going to be local shareable content. I don't want to waste any of your time but you can see here a number of similar videos. But if we look at what I'm referring to here, the content that a lot of people are putting out, which is very understandable from a logical perspective, but most aren't thinking about what I'm about to share with you. The average agent is putting out content for the 1% of people that are in the mindset of potentially thinking about buying, selling, or moving in any way, shape, or form. That's 1% of the population. What about the 99% of people that live in your area that aren't looking to move within the next 12 months, but when the time comes, you guys are going to be the right fit? That's who we want to go after. So how do we create content for them? That's going to be that local shareable content that the general public would share. So for example, if I was scrolling on TikTok today, or Instagram Reels for that matter today, and suddenly a video came up and it's like, hey, here's the top 5 restaurants, in 2023 in Calgary. I would probably share that with my girlfriend, my sister, my parents, and be like, hey, we should go check some of these out. I'm not even looking to buy. I don't care who that profile is, but now I know who that profile, because I checked it out. It's like, oh, they're a realtor. That's cool. And I just shared that with 5 different people that are saying, hey, you want to go out for dinner this week? Like, maybe we should check out one of these spots. What about the top 5 cocktail bars you didn't know in Sherwood, or the top playgrounds for your family, or the top schools, or anything that the general public would be willing to share? When we can create content that the general public's willing to share and save, now when the time comes that they're looking to buy or sell, who is top of mind? The one whose content they've been sharing. So when we could start to create content for the general public, not the obvious of the 1% that are buying and selling, but the 99% that aren't even thinking about that, now when that time comes, you're the ones who are thinking about. So those are the 3 types of content that I would think about putting out on short form content in general, because looking at the data again, it's been proven to be kind of the highest converting content over the last 12 months.
Good deal.
That help?
That helps.
It's great.
It all helps. It's all great. We could keep we could stay all day if you want.
No, I appreciate that. I think, again, you guys are doing great. I think it's pointed in the right direction. Now it's time to focus on some of the nuances and looking at, again, instead of maybe throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, we can look at some of the data-driven content that's been proven to work. Put your playful, fun spin on it, make it your own, but do something that is going to lead you in the right direction of getting that tangible result.
So would you stop doing the types that we've been doing and just focus on those? Or would
I
you
would
throw
not.
some of those in every once in a while?
Exactly. I think that it's not all or nothing. I think one of the things you guys have done beautifully is highlighting your true personality and making people, fall in love with you because you're relatable, you're fun, you're genuine, you're humble. And I think that's what people connect with, showing the family and your engagement with the kids and grandkids. Like, that's great. I think splicing that stuff in while blending it with the other stuff that is like, okay, I'm putting out this content, not expecting anything other than people to get to know what I'm really like, but then I'm also going to splice in this content that I know is tailored entirely toward getting people to look at, us in general from a tactical, like, tangible conversion perspective.
Awesome. Well, I have one question back to the property tours. We really don't have a lot of luxury properties around us. So our property tours are generally, and we do have some new construction and we can do some of that. And we watched your video with the guy that was doing a lot of that, and we can get involved with that. But most of ours are not luxury properties. And if we list it, do we need to do a property tour regardless?
Yes, every single time. no matter what. And so, you know, when you look at Noah's videos, like every single property tour Noah has, with the exception of maybe one, are all average run-of-the-mill, like lower middle class properties. And the thing is those are shareable by the masses, because it's something that people can relate to. Sure, the property tours are beautiful and gorgeous, and that's fine, that are luxury $1 million listings, but like, can most people actually afford that? No. So when you start sharing the average price point, now you're getting the average buyer and seller reaching out, who are a lot more likely to purchase or sell than the, 15, 20-year-olds and, people that are just looking at these properties as a pipe dream. Like, these are actual people that care. So when you start pointing out that, and also, when you look at Suman, who you just alluded to, or Noah, or any of these people, like, they are able to now go into listing presentations and be like, hey, we can get your property in front of tens of thousands more people than any other agent by leveraging our strategies on video. Don't you want that? Because nobody else in our market is doing it. So now it adds to your unique value proposition, and you can show what you do, not just tell what you do. And when you can show people, that gives context to it, and it makes it more tangible in terms of what it's going to be like to work with you. So when I was still in production, I made that a principle, is that I don't care if it's 150 grand, 1.5 million, or the $15 million listing that I had. Like, I'm doing the same level of quality. You're getting a property tour, you're getting drone footage, you're getting photos, twilight, the whole 9 yards, because that's an extension of my quality of work. And when people started feeling at the lower price point, like I was over delivering on value, treating them like $1 million client, you don't know if their parents are $1 million clients, or their relatives, or their friends, or whatever. So what I see a lot of agents do wrong, and I'm not saying you guys have ever done this, but what a lot of agents do wrong is they'll say, you know what, I'm going to go all in to the nines if it's at a certain price point, but if it's under 500K, average photos, no video, that's cool. Well, what are you saying to that client? That you're not worth the same as somebody else? How does that make them feel? And because one day, like for me, my first property that I bought, I split it with a friend, and it was $400,000. So technically I could afford $200,000 of it. Well, if that agent treated me properly, they didn't, which is why I got into the industry. Would they not like to be buying the $3 million property I'm now looking to buy this year and help me with that? Well, probably, but they didn't treat me like I was worth anything. So now when the time comes, who's going to get that commission? Not them.
So we have one that we're about to co-list with another EXP agent, and it's an older home built in 1975, which is like when we graduated high school, so it's pretty old. And it's pretty dated. It's very, very dated. So they don't want to spend a lot of money and a lot of time updating it, because people will, they just don't want to. So we advise painting, just painting everything, because the colors are terrible. And so they're doing that. They're removing wallpaper and having it painted, and a few other things. Should we go do a before picture, a video?
You want to do before and after. Yep, that's what you want to do, before and after. And then while you're there, maybe consider doing some sort of community tour and just talking about that overall community and what types of homes are there, if there's history behind it, if there's, again, painting a bit of a story. But I think every single time you work with a client, you should find some opportunity to leverage that opportunity that you're working with. So that could just be built into the process. But again, you can find unique ways to position it so that it's less of, hey, look at this stunning property, and more, hey, look at this before, look at how much of it, a difference just painting it can make. And now,
look at what we advise them to do this, and this is the result. So building up. Okay, good. Do you not have any questions? He's being really quiet today. That's not normal.
That's all good.
We're interested in the agent attraction. That is something that we have not done. And actually, Sherry is a former Mary Kay sales director. She was very successful in that business. And the skills are incredible. And but she can relate well with people. Both of us can. But that's something we're interested in as well. But I guess that would be just simply to watch what you do and watch your videos. And
so
the
last thing I'll say, I appreciate that, just before I wrap it up, because I have to pop off in a second, but don't worry about that too much right now. Worry about dialing in what you're already doing, because here's what happens is you know, when you look at what Suman's doing, for example, like Suman is his content, he has zero content about agent attraction. It's 100% production. And last year he added 93 agents to his RevShare organization. So when you look at this, what happens is when you start to get tangible results, when you're getting better views on your content, when you're putting out better content, other agents say, wow, how can I do that? How can I be like that? And now when there's an opportunity for you to give them that skill set, but prove that you've done it yourself, now they say, oh, I would like that. Great. There's an opportunity to get that. There's an opportunity to partner together. And so just by putting out better content and dialing in things to get better reach on what you're doing, that proof in the pudding is what's going to actually attract more people, because ultimately, what is the most attractive thing in the industry? It's production. And when you can make production exciting and vibrant and fun and easy, well, now that attracts people that want to do that as well. So I would say one thing at a time, keep doing what you're doing, dial things in based on what we talked about today. And then that's going to naturally be a byproduct of the mission that you're now going on.
Very good. Thank you.
Very good. Thank
Awesome.
You,
This was awesome.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'll pop off now, but again, I appreciate you. Hopefully that helped, and I'm excited to share this with everybody.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.